Hi everyone, this is the Lady Strange. This is going to be the weekly collective reading for the week of February 23rd of 2025. This is we're already at the end of the month because February is a short month. Yes, wow, time. So basically, this is a collective reading, as I just said. Take away what resonates with. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning or a subscriber, thanks, and thanks for returning. And again, welcome to my altar room. So, without further ado, the decks I'm going to be using this week are different ones I have used in the channel. I have actually showed one of them in my 31 Days of Strange in October. So it's a Syrian Shadows deck. So if you're interested more in that deck, check it out. That's going to be one of the Oracle decks. This I'm using is my newest one. It's going to be the Citadel. I can't talk. I just filmed a first impressions video. Obviously, I went to that. So I'm going to be using this, though, as an archetypal thing to get the energy of this collective this week. A little bit different. Just got this deck. I've been eyeing it for a while. Here's this gorgeous, look at that gilding, gorgeous Syrian Shadows deck. Okay, Shadows of Darkness is the oracle that wanted to step up this week. And a deck I haven't read for it. It's my personal deck, meaning I read and password and work with this. I used it for myself in my own version, as I basically changed it up did the prompts, but made it my own to serve me for the 78, drop them 78, there we go, think. I've channeled my guides and channel and work with everything and set up already prior to this, so I'm already connected, so I may be a little flighty and out of it as the channel comes through to me. Meaning the channeling, that is, of the deity, spirits, and entities I work with and walk with. So, in the universe itself. So this is the Ritual Tarot. Now, I've not read for others with this, so yeah, we'll see how this actually goes. This is the third edition, I believe, by the amazing Tierra May. I have her Cave of Sybil deck. This is a marked edition, but I have the Cave of Sybil deck, which I have been learning and using in my practice. Such gorgeous, very magical ritual decks. She has definitely a connection to the underworld like I do, and to magic and the divine deep dark. And just such an artistic talent and voice, evocative deck. So this deck is coming through. And certain things are coming through too for this. So without further ado, we're going to get into the reading. I just figured I'd show my beautiful candle like I did last week. It kind of stabilized now. In the beginning, as I lit it, it went haywire. Guys, calm down a little bit for the message, I guess. But here we go. So this is another one, not an endorsement, just showing a thing that I highly recommend from my favorite candle company, with City Wicks, and married with one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite band, Typo Negative, and one of my favorite songs by them, Love You to Death, from the October Rust album. If you are into doom and gloom metal, check it out. If you're curious, check it out. Always nice to learn new things. And the scent of this is divine. I swear by their candles are worth every penny. They last long. And yeah. So let's get into this. So for the actual archetype this week, for the representative of the energies and what to embody for this collective, what energy and archetype embodies this collective this week? And the qualities that they may need to embody or work with within themselves, or to use their gifts and abilities, meaning as a human being, that is, in their logic, and have an empowered, effective week, no matter what energies may present themselves. Again, my readings are not predictive or divinatory. They're energetic, and they are guided messages. So not everything is a takeaway or works for everyone. So let's see, though. saying 2. So we'll do top and bottom. I'll show you in a second. Again, this is a Citadel Oracle. Okay, we got here. The first one is being the priest. Okay, so it is perseverance and faith. Oh, that's amazing message. This for this collective and the energies to embody. And I do feel the collective that follows me on this. You always embody perseverance and faith, no matter how hard the struggle is to have faith in today's worlds and circumstances and interactions and the ever constant changes that have coming and how a lot of it's digressing in the wrong direction, but I'm not going to get on that. We all know, we can all see and feel, but we should do our best just to move through and forward as best as we can for ourselves and for those and for that which matters in our daily lives. So this is basically, this collective has a lot of perseverance, a lot of faith. You are priests and priestess to yourselves. You follow your own belief system. You follow your North Star, much like I said last week. You follow, whether or not, no matter what path you may follow, whether you are a witch, whether you are on the Christian path, Catholic, or you're just atheist, whatever the case is, whatever floats your boat, as I said in my last video, that's fine. You still have your own faith, you have your own guidance, and most of all, this collective has perseverance. So I also feel that you're going to need to continue to pull from that as we move through this week, of those strong qualities you have and that you have embodied in your experience. That perseverance is going to get you through this week. You're going to need that and to have some extra faith and lean on your faith. It's just the way life is. I'm not, just feel a little bit of, obviously, like last week's death and change energy. So let's see what the second one for the archetype, because it was true that I was guided to pull. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. And the other one is the founder. This is foundations and community. And look at that. That's a great card. Of course. And of course, the founder speaks of, like I said, foundations and community. So again, what have you been building? What foundation do you have? Do you need to reevaluate your foundations as you have been? It's a continuous process in this life, as I mentioned, with the resources that we have and being resourceful and working on your community. Now, whether or not you're a big introvert like me and have a small circle of friends and family that means the world to you, and guides and spirits or other things you may work with, or whether you are an extrovert, much like my husband is, and you work a lot with the community, or you are a volunteer, your co-workers, the community around you that you live in, and you embody. Embody whatever your community, no matter how big or small that is and whatever it may look like. Embody that. Keep building those solid foundations. This collective has definitely done so and did that with perseverance and strength, of course, and having faith and the faith to move forward despite sometimes feeling a lack of faith. So remember to work on those foundations and continue to work those. Those are what going to get you through the week and, of course, the future. What we do now does affect our future. So with that being said, let's see. Now that we know the archetypes, the energy, and what this collective is, meaning the energies you have and what you embody to have an effective, empowered week this week, let's also see what the Ritual Tarot has. What does this collective need to know? What are the energies of this week that are forecasted that will affect this collective this week, or be part of that, where they need to embody those energies and archetypes within themselves and within each other? The energies and circumstances, and of course, most of all, the guidance to have an effective week. And this deck has already been falling on me a lot today. Let me just grab that one moment. Gotta love jumpers, gotta love the guides. Let's just say he has spoken. Let's see what we have here. And check it out to fix it, because since they fell, they are actually upside down. Okay, in reverse. Sorry about that. 7 of Swords. And I do read this deck also by the way that it is, but also intuitively. As I said, I'm channeling. So basically, so the 7 of Swords. So you have here 7 of Swords is the first one. And then let's see what else we have, because of course the jumper. So what else besides the 7 of Swords for this week? 7 of Swords is an interesting card. It is one of air and in the realm of thoughts and logic, and embodying an intellect and emotional intellect and knowledge, in my opinion. It's also can, as swords do, or a double edge. They can cut and use in defense, or they can also destroy, but they can also protect and prune away that which doesn't serve, which this collective is good at. Those of you that watch my videos, I know that you are, much like myself, and do that effectively, and even more so in this ever-challenging human experience. What else does this collective need to know? And we have another Swords. We have the 8 of Swords this time. So there's a lot with thinking this week, a lot with intellect, which makes sense with that whole thinking and perseverance and using that, but also having to have that faith. As I said, I feel a little bit of challenge in the beginning there with those archetypes, so this makes sense on that. But the 8 of Swords, every card has a dual meaning and can change depending on what affects them or what the situation is. And of course, and lastly, we're going to pull one more, and hence another Swords. So this one is the 5 of Swords. What an interesting energy this week. All the tarot meaning, that is, are all in the realm of swords, all in the realm of air and thinking. And swords can also be very challenging, kind of a suit that can also be cold. Cold energy, meaning discerning, logic, and maybe not as empathetic. So this week, let's take a look here. Now, these are all very challenging, or might be cards that you might be like, oh wow, we get a bunch of several challenging swords in this. And of course, so that can be a bit heavy. So there is some heaviness in this as we move forward, this collective does. And just overall, as the world turns and moves and changes and things we see, feel, experience, or we have to deal with, or with those around us that we have to deal with, is constantly changing, and the information being provided to us. That's what a lot of these swords are, is information being provided to us. Now, with that 7 of Swords in this, so there is going to be a sense of making sure you dot your I's and cross your T's with this 7 of Swords, to make sure to stand up as a victor by being perceptive and taking that authority without being obviously too aggressive or over violent, or being, being kind of cold, too cold and ruthless, but making sure to stand in your authority. That's what I'm seeing in this one. You see how the character here they're standing in their authority with their sword, ready to use their logic and ready to protect themselves in that which matters and what they're created in the realm of thought. But but this character is also surrounded by a bunch of swords, thoughts, and information's downloaded of different things and different life experiences. But that does not stop us now, does it? Honest, we are diligent. This is telling me to stand vigilant, kind of like the Seven of Wands would be. This has that feeling for today for me, but also to be diligent, to be the victor by using your discernment and your thought, not reacting too much in defense like the Seven of Wands. But even though we didn't get the Seven of Wands, I feel that this is a play of the opposites. This is using your more cold logic discernment versus feeling and the reaction of too much will or fire. Harness your thoughts. Harness that. Don't take any hasty decisions, sign anything, or do any hasty things overall that may do anything. That's all it's saying, is to have diligence, as Seven of Swords is. And if you do so, and you have that perseverance through those difficult situations and information, you will have victory over your thoughts. That's where the Five of Swords is. You need to have, in this type of position of the Seven of Swords, in this depiction, you need to have that in order to overcome this Five of Swords, as you see, piercing thoughts. But this is a realm of, and you see the fog and overwhelming thoughts and energy and piercing on that. But be mindful with that perseverance and having faith that despite everything, continue to work off the foundations you have and continue to lean on the community. And if you need help, there are many resources out there. You just got to do a little bit of research and be quite a bit open-minded and vulnerable to do so. Because the Five of Swords is telling me there is a lot going to be presented to you, and a lot you already have that you're trying to work through. But do not let it pierce through you, and do not let it change you, and do not let it define you, okay? Do not let it create a mask on you. You see how this one, he's also a mask. Do not create a mask for it or hide behind a mask, okay? Swords are a lot about perception, just like the cups to me. Now, this Eight of Swords, with that also being said, because of the overwhelm of the Five of Swords and the thinking, the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords is telling me, the Seven is saying to the Five, in this case, is do not cause self-defeat to yourself by overthinking and overanalyzing. Be a bit more open on that. Remove that sword from, your logic space. There is going to be a logic and discernment needed, but you need to have faith also. That's kind of like the Cups energy from the archetypes you're going to need to have. Otherwise, you're going to continue to. Yes, there's restrictions. There is a stall and a stalemate this week. That's also indicated that by that Seven of Swords and that Five of Swords. Things are going to come to more of a halt, where you're going to have to reevaluate. Swords are reevaluation also. I feel a period of reevaluation. This collective and overall, in many cases, we're kind of have our hands tied, sort of like you would see in the regular RWS Eight of Swords. Yeah. So the Eight of Swords, you would kind of see that. This kind of, to me, feels even more so, because the Eight of Swords is kind of like the Nine of Swords. Is right before the Nine of Swords. You feel boxed and restricted in. And yes, we are, because, again, we're at the mercy of the government. We're at mercy at rules, work situations, life situations, and resources. So in a lot of cases, we're feeling boxed in. We're feeling boxed in to what's being provided to us, but that which we perceive and at seeing and knowing the truth. But don't stay stuck in this Eight of Swords energy. It's saying, use the Seven of Swords in this type of thing in a productive use in regards to that, and do not have others defeat you either, and let their thoughts, actions, energies or overall overwhelm you this week. Okay, don't be defeated like this Five of Swords, where they have it piercing through their brain. Do not let others' actions, words, or what they say to you to belittle you. Okay, instead, work on that which is right for yourself and your own personal foundations and those around you. That, again, it's truly what matters for yourself in this life. And lastly, let's pull from the Shadow of Darkness as some clarification, assisting message and guidance for this collective, and some takeaways also to help in that slightly heavier, hard headspace type of energy that we're in this week. But remember that the archetypes there show that you, this collective, will get through this week despite all of those feelings of restriction and potential defeat, and not allowing yourselves to be defeated, and to use the Seven of Swords in this. And it has spoken again. Okay, we have activation. Now again, I'm not going to read the little thing because it's very small down there, but again, you can kind of pause and read. This deck is great. I call it my Heavy Metal Slayer deck, but it is beautiful. And a couple of my male entities, deities, love to speak through this deck very clearly and truthfully. So activation is the activation of faith and perseverance. Okay? And turning to your spiritual system, or that which lights you up and makes you feel alive and gets you through. That light at the end of the tunnel, that hermit energy, and turning within, but within your community also, and your foundations. Don't let overwhelm and overthinking and what's information being presented to overwhelm you, or possible choices because of decisions you may have to make. That is coming through too. So use activation. Activation is strength, making the right choices, using the inner fire, kind of like the wands, in a willful, empowered way, as mentioned, and activating your truth, your strength, and your perseverance. So there's going to be a lot of activation in here. And I'm going to pull another from the top and one from the bottom, as that's what I'm being advised to do. Awakening. Well, that seems awfully appropriate now, doesn't it, for the getting so many things in the realm of thought and perception. Okay, again, it is the information that we're sensing, we're reading, we're teaching ourselves, and what we're pruning and breaking away is causing an awakening. So that can, of course, cause the feelings of being boxed in, like that Eight of Swords and some of that Seven of Swords energies and Five of Swords, where we got to watch what's going on around us and truly what is real and discerning, but we cannot let it pierce us too much. But it's an awakening. This collective is very, has been for quite a while now. This year especially, and last year, has had a lot of struggles, but has pruned away a lot because of that. And it's kind of sharpened their blades, so to say, like that's why we're getting so many swords. To keep themselves strong in defense, but also their perception and their truth and clarity in this life. So we're going through an awakening period. That's what I feel. There's going to be a greater awakening for a lot of this collective. And for those of us that truly understand what's going on and continue to embody our truth and learn and sift away that which doesn't serve and prune away, that's what we're doing. We're in an awakening period. That's why that limitation and the Eight of Swords and that restriction is. Because you might feel stagnated, but again, it's a period of awakening, so that way you can have a better activation for yourself, those you love, your community, and the future. The rest of the world is going to be the rest of the world. Empires rise, as they say, and empires fall. Not everything lasts forever, like November Rain, one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs. Again, music fan, music is magic, as I always say. And, wow, yeah, sense of humor now, don't you? Impaled. And this is a shadowy deck, so it does have some confronting images. But again, life is confronting now, isn't it? Can't hide behind the whole love and light stuff now, can we? And with that being said, look, yeah, a sense of humor and sense of truth. Don't let yourself be impaled by your thoughts and what words others say to you. I have a feeling that some people are going to kind of say things to you this week that are going to kind of try to trigger that defensive, challenging swords energy and make you want to activate it. Don't. Don't fall for that, and don't let their words and their actions and how they treat you, or how you may perceive how they may be treating you, even if they're not, let you get that Eight of Swords energy and the negative aspects of having to constantly look and feel defeated. Okay, you're strong. If you're watching this, you're obviously still alive and still standing and have the blessings to do so. There is little blessings and lots of little blessings and things in abundance to look forward to, and to keep you to have faith. Look at that. You've had faith in the past. You can have faith through a challenging week and through a challenging life experiences, but that's only what makes us all stronger, is what we learn from and what we glean from, and those lessons and those truths and perceptions that make us stronger, that we cannot be held down by how we persevere through faith, and the faith that we have in ourselves and the faith we have in each other, and those good aspects of humanity and life. There is that to always reflect on, like the swords. So with that being said, yes, a heavier week, a lot of thinking, a lot of discerning, a lot of analyzing those foundations, but continue to do so. You are strong, as I am, and will continue to move through and get forward. And I do feel that we will get forward in this, and we will use our discernment to have an empowered, effective week. So with that being said, if you do like this and you feel so inclined, or any of my past content, please like and comment and subscribe, as it helps my channel grow. And of course, thanks for watching, and stay strange.